वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते 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 वासुदेवाय
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः
नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय
नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामिन्निति नामिने
स्वामिन्निति नामिने
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
all of us together loudly raising our hands
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं धीरधानं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्. We'll get started. So, we dedicate this. We are taking this presentation again from the Divine Song of Lord, which is Bhagavad Gita, and we are discussing. We dedicate this presentation to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So it is only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada we all are here. And Srila Prabhupada's, I was also just thinking, this is like the month of book distribution for all of us. And I was thinking, what is that very special thing which Srila Prabhupada gave all of us? And I realized that Srila Prabhupada, he made us realize that he gave us the information that we are the soul and we are not this body. And it is such a profound knowledge which he has given all of us actually. This knowledge actually, this knowledge in depth about the soul and body was only available to those exclusive small set of people who were studying Shastras. And you can think of us. we are nowhere there. We didn't even know what is the ABCD of Shastras. But Srila Prabhupada is so merciful that he's given us this very, very wonderful knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And we also see that in this month of December, devotees all over the world, we go on streets, we distribute this Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. And you will see many devotees, especially many ISKCON volunteers, who are working during the day, days, and in the evenings go out and then distribute books. And we see that why all are so much fired up to give books of Srila Prabhupada, especially Bhagavad Gita, is because Bhagavad Gita gives us that profound information which can save us from struggling not just in this life but life after life. So anybody who has little understood Bhagavad Gita, they would definitely like to give Bhagavad Gita to others. And we also see that especially this month of December, we see, we celebrate Christmas, and especially in the West, people are in the mood of spending. So just now Black Friday is going on, and then comes next Christmas holidays, Christmas vacations, and everybody is in the mood of spending in the West. And we Indians, as usual, we are just following the West, so we are also in the mood of spending. So we see that when we go out and when we try to give this Bhagavad Gita to others, so we see that especially in this month of December, which is also a Gita Jayanti month, people are very, very reciprocative. Because this was the very auspicious month in which Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So just by hearing this, many people will be amazed that yes, this is that very month, and at least now we should take this Bhagavad Gita like that. And we cannot even imagine like how much people are hankering for this Bhagavad Gita. Like so many experiences, especially when we go out on streets, we see like so many experiences where people will come up to us and they say that this is what I was looking for. I don't know, I was always getting to know about this Bhagavad Gita, but I didn't know where to go, how to search, how to get it. But somehow, like I was lazy enough to also order it, so we somehow Krishna wants me to have it, so I'm very very grateful. We see like so many people like that, and recently also our Sneha Taji, she shared a very beautiful experience. Let me see if I can just read out that group book distribution. Okay. So Mataji has mentioned that I'd like to share a special experience from my book distribution at Hanuman Temple. While distributing books, I met a lovely Mataji. She was genuinely moved when I spoke to her about the books we had. To my surprise, she told me that she always wanted a Bhagavad Gita, but had been postponing it. She was aware about ISKCON's book distribution and had been actively like having the desire to find one. When I offered her the book, her joy was incredible. She realized that her wish had finally come true. She was so grateful and looked forward for discovering answers to her life questions through the teachings of Gita. See, like Mataji has also mentioned, how our efforts could make a difference in somebody else's life. We cannot even imagine. And in fact, if you, I'll also share this in the groups. So if you also um, uh, go to YouTube and search for some of the experiences, like book distribution experiences, you can see that like so many people who were actually who were in the deathly situation, who were either about to commit suicide or who were like in a situation where they thought that they will not come out at all, who had either faced a loss in their life because of the business, family, or so many things. And finally somehow when Krishna says that four kinds of people come to him: Arti, Artharthi, Artho, Artharthi, Jignasi, and Jnani. And the first kind of people is one who are distressed, like all of us. So, like when distressed person, when he really wants to find out what is the solution for my distress, and that's when the Bhagavad Gita manifests in their life. And if you see, like Prabhupada, so Prabhupada went to West and he made those hippies into happies. Even I remember that when I went to, like long before I came to Krishna consciousness, when I went to Hampi, you would have heard like Hampi. Like there's a very very beautiful place in Karnataka. It's a very historical place. When I went there, we went to some remote place and that area was called as hippie land. And I was like very amazed. Like I was not knowing at that time what is this hippie thing and things like that. But the like local guide who were there, he started explaining that how foreigners, they want to come to India and they want to stay at a place where they have to spend less, but they want to do a lot of illegal activities like drugs, alcohol and things like that. So that was the place they found. And I was thinking like what kind of people like they are coming to India, which is such a like pious country, and they want to do all these things like that. And soon after when I started when I actually started attending these sessions, and when I started hearing about hippies, then I started relating that these are the same hippies that I was hearing about whom Srila Prabhupada has converted into happies. So see, us accepting Gita, us accepting Krishna, it's not a big thing. We all have heard of Krishna. Is there anyone who didn't heard about Krishna at all? Only after coming to ISKCON you've heard of Krishna. There will be no such person in India. But if you see them, they have not even heard about like anything about the Supreme Lord Krishna, even Bhagavad Gita as such. But if you see like all over the world, there are temples, and in fact I can very proudly and I can very like I'm also ashamed of the fact that they're practicing much more sincerely and seriously than all of us Indians here. And Prabhupada's contribution was he gave Bhagavad Gita as it is. And second thing is that Prabhupada, he took this Bhagavad Gita out from India to the West. That was his important contribution. That like when there is still an interview where the interviewers ask Prabhupada, why have you come here? Like we have taken everything, so did you come to take revenge out of us? So Prabhupada says very very boldly, very very happily, very very like in a very profound way, Prabhupada says that you have taken everything, but you have forgotten to take that gem of India, which is like the Vedic scriptures. You have not taken it, so I have come here to give you that Vedic scriptures. So now in this month of December, all we have to do, like we don't have to travel to West and things like that. We just have to take Bhagavad Gita from inside this room. Like you can see, like everywhere there are cartons of Bhagavad Gita. We just have to take Bhagavad Gita from inside of this room to outside, to those like souls like us who are just waiting for this Bhagavad Gita. And we also see that how like today's topic is also like very relatable. So real happiness. So Prabhupada, at least in my life, I can see that Prabhupada is that person who gave me real happiness. And in fact, I was not even knowing the definition of real happiness until I came to Krishna consciousness. So we see that like happiness means a lot to different people. Like few people, they feel that if they have a lot of positions, they are very happy. Like if you go to any people who are like very rich, you can see every nook and corner of their house is filled with any one of the other antique pieces or something that is very valuable, and they're very proud of it, and they think that that is giving them happiness. And if you think about somebody who doesn't have a job, once he gets a job, that gives him happiness. And somebody who's not married, once he gets married, he thinks that yes, that is happiness. And few other people, like they think that in my nameplate, if so many degrees are there, yeah, like MTech, PhD, and so on, doctorate, and so on, so I'll be very happy. And in this way we see that everybody has their own like small way of happiness, and everybody thinks that if I get this, I'll get happiness, maybe if I get that, I'll get happiness. And in fact, I was amazed, like there is a book called Krishna book here. So in the preface, Prabhupada writes that everybody is looking for that dormant Krishna consciousness. And when I heard this statement, I was thinking, how is that possible? Like people don't even know about Krishna properly, so how is that everybody is looking for Krishna consciousness? Actually, it is meant that everybody is looking for happiness in this life. There is nobody who is not like, who doesn't want happiness, who doesn't want to search happiness. And true happiness lies in Krishna. And they're searching, oh, they're opening the leaflets. They're saying, oh, is this my happiness? Oh, is this my happiness? Oh, is this giving my happiness? They're just knocking door after door, and then they're just going after like house after house. They are going in search, and they're seeing, like, can this give me happiness? And definitely it's not like it's not giving them happiness. There is some happiness in this material world also, or else like how can we even sustain here? We cannot. But we see that, if I can ask you this question, that is there anyone who can ever say that, like, have got permanent happiness in my life? No, there is no person in this material world who can say that. Like how, like we have mentioned, especially you travel just from Whitefield to little distance to Kadu Basin Handi or so. It is mentioned like so many hoardings you can see, wherein your dream home, your dream destination, and then this, even when all the car advertisement, they say that buy this car, buy this bike, you'll become happy. Especially phones, especially at least I have my own colleagues who are so much crazy, like phone, like as and when the new phone releases, they just want to try it, and that gives them like that high sense of dopamine, and they want to become happy. And even including all these things, like few people are so much addicted to like brands like jockey and things like that. They cannot even come out of that conception. All these like little stupid things that give them happiness. And definitely, like people may think that these can give them happiness, but if they truly asked themselves, is that giving them permanent happiness? No. Any material activity cannot give permanent happiness. So we'll discuss why. So Lord Krishna's estimation of this world. So we'll see. Okay. So I will like this slide is mainly I'm portraying these places. So you have to try to guess what is the Sanskrit word for it. So what is the word, like what is the word Sanskrit word for place where they eat? Bhojanalay. So alay means place basically. Okay, Bhojanalay. Anybody knows what is this place called as? Place where they drink? Madhuralay. Madhushala also sometimes they call. And this thing you always Vidyalay. Pustakalay. So let's see what our dear Krishna says about this like material world. So you can all repeat this beautiful shloka. Mamupetya punarjanma
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
संसिद्धिं परमां गता.
संसिद्धिं paramam.
Can anyone read the translation loudly?
After attaining it, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
So what is Krishna calling this material world as? Dukhalayam. Like last session also we were discussing that how like this world is a place that is meant for dukkha. And Krishna is also mentioning another special word. It is called Ashashvatam. See, somebody may say that okay, Dukhalayam I have not experienced, or maybe it is like it is like the amount of dukkha in my life is little less. But nobody can say that they have not experienced Ashashvatam. Like anything and everything that we purchase, and including our own body or our near and dear ones, we can say that nobody is like Shashwata in this material world. Everybody is like Ashashwata, and everybody has to accept this fact. It's a very very practical fact. So Krishna says that this is a very very temporary world, and this world is full of miseries, dukkhalaya. Let's see what else Krishna is also telling. In 9.33, Krishna is telling that kim punar brahmana punya
Kim punar brahmana punya
bhakta rajarshayasthatha
bhakta rajashayasya
anityam asukam lokam
anityam asukam lokam
imam prapya bhajasva mam.
imam prapya bhajasvama.
Can anyone else read loudly?
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
So again Krishna, see this is the second time Krishna is repeating that this is a temporary miserable world. And what is the word that is used? Anityam. Nityam means that which is eternal. Anityam means that which is like very temporary. And sukham. Sukha means like happiness and like pleasure. And sukham means that which is like very miserable. And like how anything if you consider in this world that gives happiness, at the end it gives distress. Anything you can consider. Like, can you give me any example? Anything that small you can think of. Initially, you thought, yes, this will give me happiness, and then finally it ended up giving you some happiness, some sadness.
Job.
I was expecting it. So yeah, same here with me also. So we all have put so much efforts, and at every point of life they were telling, no, once you get job, just that's it, your life is like a happy life. And now we are just waiting for the weekends. We just and Sunday evenings means they are like already Monday blues. We just don't even want. We just want somebody to fall sick or something to happen, so that at least at least in schools, we could expect holidays. Here we cannot even expect holidays. And even on my end, I have all 5 days work, and I have to go to office. And I just keep thinking when my manager will not come to office, so that at least I'll have little time for myself. And if you see anything, like for example, let's say you buy a car, so little like scratch on the car, that's it. And that too, like a car like Benz car and things like that, you cannot even imagine. And let's say you take a iPhone, so I mean, you cannot even imagine how much careful and cautious you should be. Like I have all my colleagues who have the iPhone, and they treat their iPhone like their baby. So I don't think so they would have protected their babies so much. That much they are taking care. Like in my company, they have given phones from office. Like from by default they have given, which they have to return back after 3 years or something like that. So everybody has taken iPhone, and everybody knows that if they like lose it or like harm it, they have to sell their kidney or something like that. So they're extremely careful. And even like on a simple note, any food, let's take anything small, like anything that you like the most. Let's say you like rasgulla the most, or let's say any food, samosa you like the most, and you overeat it in that like sense of eagerness that yes, this is my favorite. The same thing that initially brought you happiness, the same thing it will give you misery. So it's a very very practical thing. So you can sit and think of any of the things that you think, okay, this gave me happiness, or this is actually giving me happiness, and at the end you see that somehow or the other it will give you miseries. And because that is the nature of the material world, that is dukhalayam and ashashvatam. Now, saying that, is Krishna pessimistic about this material world? Like somebody may say that Krishna is so negative. He's telling that like why is this like world dukhalayam ashashvatam? I mean, definitely there is some happiness in this world, even which each one of us we have experienced. But why is Krishna saying this? We will try to understand that why Krishna is branding this material world as a like a miserable place. So this is a example from Mahabharata. So anybody has heard of this example? This is one of my favorite examples whenever I think of like like taking my bhakti seriously. So I always remember this example. So the in Mahabharata actually it is given. It's called as an analogy of a happy person. There was a like person who was walking on the street, and suddenly the elephant starts chasing him, and the person definitely wants to he has nobody around, so he wants to like save himself from the elephant. So what he does, he just climbs the tree, and he climbs the tree, and then the elephant starts shaking that like whole tree, and you can see the tree is so like feeble that the elephant can uproot the tree at any time, and the elephant is shaking the tree, it's moving the tree, and he cannot hold, he lost hold of the grip of the tree, and now he is hanging on the branches. And you can also see that there are like two rats, two mouses, basically white and black mouse. They are digging the branch of the tree, so the branch of the tree can cut at any point of time. And also, if it falls, let's say, even though the distance between his leg and the ground is so close, you can imagine what is down. This is a pit of snakes, like so many snakes are there, and if even if he gets down, the snake can kill him at any point of time. And also you can see up there is a beehive, and these bees are also troubling him continuously. They're troubling him, they're not at all stopping, like to buzz around him and also to bite him. And in between all these things, when the tree is being shaken, so a drop of honey from that honeycomb falls on his face, and he tries to, with that smell of that pure honey, he tries to lick that honey, and he gets a little taste of that honey, and he's like, that's it. He's so happy about that honey that he's forgetting about the elephant, he's forgetting about the rats, he's forgetting about the bees which are actually hurting him, and he's also forgetting about down the snakes. And just he's just waiting, when will that tree shake again, when will he get another drop of like honey, and he's just waiting for that honey. And this an analogy I always like like this analogy. And actually, like this analogy is again, it is compared to our life in this material world, basically. Like if you see the person who is hanging, he's the person who is in this material world, and the elephant is the death. And you can see the death, it can come at any point of time, and death can knock the door, and we cannot even say like please go. Like in Kannada we used to say like nale banni, like come tomorrow. We used to say, like whenever we don't want people to come, we used to say like nale banni, like okay, come tomorrow, no problem, like that. We cannot say death that come next moment, not even next minute. And that's when in English they say there is a quote, as sure as death. So nobody can like stop death, and this death is waiting. It's all always already there, like with the like what starting date. There is also an expiry date that is like stamped, and we have been already sent. It's just that we don't know. And then the white and the black mouses, they are like the day and night. So with each passing day and night, we are going closer to death. And what is very very practical example, like you all will like relate very much to me. Like even a 5 days born baby, what do we call that, what do we call that baby? Do we say like this baby is 5 days young? We always say 5 days old, 5 months old, 5 years. That baby is just born 2 days, 3 days. We never tell that baby that, oh, you are just 5 years, like 5 days young. So you can imagine, everybody knows this fact very, very well, that like as and when we pass this day and night, as and when the day and night passes, we are going like closer to death, and there is no doubt about it. And this honeybees are like the troubles of the material world, which we get like here and there. And also the snakes are the big obstacles in our life, which we cannot face very very easily. and you can see the drop of honey that we are getting. It's just the pleasures of this world, like how I said, like buying that phone or getting that job, or like getting married, or anything you can think of. It is equated to that one drop of honey. And that one drop of honey, for that one drop of honey, so much struggle we are doing. And again, like, to get that next drop of honey, our wait is from getting one drop of honey to the next drop of honey, and in between all struggles. So we can see, we are just stuck in this like precarious material world. And like just again this example is given in Mahabharat again, to the back to the question that I was asking, is Krishna pessimistic? No, definitely Krishna is not pessimistic. Krishna wants to tell us, this is the fact. Why are you even suffering? There is a abode which is like full of honey, full of without honeybees, without snakes, without elephant, without death, without all these struggles, without all these small big troubles that we are having, without day and night. And that abode is full of Sachidananda, like full of eternity. It doesn't end, not like Ashashvata, it is Shashvata. And it is not like Dukhalayam, it is Sukhalayam. And Krishna wants, see, only when somebody tells us what is the when they give us negative review, we get to know, no, yes, should I actually like take this or not. So because of our own desires, we have come here now. So Krishna is advertising, see, this is what you've been fallen into, and now you realize that this is what you've fallen into, and see what is actually lying before you, and you just come to me, and I'll give you like utmost happiness. So Krishna is so merciful that how even though by our own will, because just what did we want? We just wanted that few drops of honey. So like, see, very let's be very practical. Like if I would have explained you, oh, like buying car is stupid thing, or getting a job is stupid thing, then you would have told me this Mataji is crazy. But see this example, it is so vivid. It is so vivid that it's not that we have to give up any of those things. Definitely we cannot give up honey. Like how I said, we are living on that honey. That little happiness, if somebody takes from us, like definitely we cannot even stay in this Dukhalaya. We are here because of that little happiness that we are getting. And even one other Prabhuji had come. His name is Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, and he was giving another view for this like happiness. This happiness that we think, it's just a relief from the sadness. You can only go back and think, like anything that you consider as an happiness, like let's say eating your favorite meal, it's just relief from hunger. Sleeping, it's relief from tiredness. Like how I said, weekend relief from the weekdays of like tired job. So anything you consider happiness, it's just a relief from the sadness. And relief means what? It's temporary. So we all would have experienced some pain, and that relief, no, unless and until we get some permanent medication, that relief is just temporary. And until that medicine works, that relief is there. So similarly like that. And we also see that in this helpless situation, Krishna is holding our hands. So Krishna is there. You can see there on one corner. Krishna is there, ready on the Garuda, and he's there to give his hands. But so much foolish we are, that we are holding hands so tight to this material world, that we don't want to give our hands to Krishna, and we don't want to experience that happiness. That is actually our like life. And see, even after telling like so many things, including myself. So when we go outside this four rooms, so again we forget everything. We think that this is what my life is. This is what happiness is, and this is what I have to live for. And our view of happiness changes to temporary things, and we just go on. I totally agree that I totally understand that. But why first thing is that why I'm bringing this point here is that we should know that we are struggling. That is first thing. Second thing is, we should know that there is a better place for us. So when we are like having some disease, we should know that there is a place where the disease also gets cured. And okay, we are trying to get to that place. That is secondary thing, but at least we should know it. That's the fact. Like we have put this here. And second thing is, it is only and only your desire, your efforts, your endeavor, that you are coming out of this sad, miserable condition. And if you see what are the problems in this world, actually, even I was very fascinated to know about this. The real problems of this world are, like I would have discussed this, like two things makes the problem very real. First thing is, that problem is applicable to every living entity in this world. Second thing is, it is that problem is applicable forever. It's not that today it's there, tomorrow it's not there. Like let's say like somebody is hungry and he's like not getting food. Today he may not get food. Tomorrow he'll get. Day after tomorrow he may not get. So definitely hunger is not a like a permanent problem. So let's see what is that real problems which we actually have to come. Janma. Janma means birth. Mrityu, death. Jara, old age, and Vyadi, disease. So this is also a very very beautiful shloka where Krishna says that Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshan Darshanam. So this you can practically think. There is no single living entity in this world who can like get over this birth, death, old age, and disease. And see, who wants death? Nobody wants death. Nobody will say that yes, like I want to just live here for this many years and then I want to go. And everybody wants to live forever. And even disease, like who wants disease? Nobody wants disease. But diseases will come. Nobody wants death. Death will come. Nobody wants old age. Definitely nobody wants old age. Like what are the problems we face in old age? Back pain to now also we have. We need support. And we like we cannot sit, we cannot stand, we cannot go, we are dependent on others, and we need like people ignore us. Nowadays the people don't care for us at all. In fact I would have discussed about this here only in there is one some military colony, and I heard that one part of that colony now they have converted into all these vruddhashramas where the parents stay, and in the other part if the kids want they can stay, or the kids like can stay like can leave their kids and stay in foreign country or something like that. And this is like very very like this is happening like all over we can see. And if you see like nobody in this material world, even the Elon Musk or whoever he can say I am the richest person in this material world, he cannot avoid this janma mrityu jara vyadi. In fact I always give this example of Michael Jackson. So you'd have heard that Michael Jackson, he because of his like past karma he became so famous. In fact he became so wonderfully like rich and famous that even though he became so wonderfully famous and rich, he had that tension that he'll die. And he was all healthy. It was not like he was suffering some disease or something like that. But he had kept a set of 50 doctors in his own home, so that anything happens to him, there are doctors all around to take care of him. And you know at what age he left his body? He left his body just at the around the age of 50. So you can imagine, like, no matter how much precaution we take, whatever the money we have, whatever the opulences we have, like good birth, good like beautiful like body or whatever we have, at the end of the day, nothing can stop this birth, death, old age, and disease. And okay, now I know that death, old age, disease is painful. Why is birth painful? Anybody can help me? Why is birth painful? I mean, birth is like okay, right?
With birth only all these things starts.
Very very nice. In birth, after taking birth only all these things starts. And if you see again another very practical eye-opening thing. When the baby comes out, how does the baby come out? Crying so loudly. And I last time also I wanted to share that video. After seeing that video, I mean, I was like in shock. Like actually, I have also made notes here that that situation of the person who is in the womb, it's so much pathetic that it is equal to he's tied in a sack. He's in that bent position. Imagine somebody keeps you under this in the bent position. How long can you stay? You cannot stay for long. The baby is in that bent position, and he's put in a metal drum, and that metal drum is filled with pus, urine, and all the obnoxious things, stool, and all the obnoxious things. And the baby, he cannot move this side, he cannot move that side, he is bent, he cannot even stand. You can imagine, like for us, if we cannot stand straight for little time, like we cannot even like manage. So the baby is struggling so much in that womb for how many months? For almost 9 months. And it is also said that in Shastras itself it comes that baby, like it's struggling so much in the stomach, it offers a prayer to the Lord that, my dear Lord, so many lives, life after lives I have struggled from the womb till from the womb to the time I came out, even in the like when I came out, and up to death, even in the death, like even in the death, so much I have struggled, and now again due to my desires I have come in this like womb, and this life I will do bhakti very nicely and I'll come to you. Please take me out, I cannot stay here, please take me out. He offers, he writes a letter to Lord Krishna. And when he comes out crying because he is fed up with that pain, and he cannot even bear that pain. He came out, and then what happens? And then the mother, father, grandmother, grandparents show that temporary love to them, that they forget all the pain. That's the thing that is happening with us also. Now see, we know that we are facing difficulties. See, we can say that I lived a very happy life, my parents were rich, I had a very good lineage, I didn't have to suffer. But see, all this death, old age, disease, all these things we cannot stop. Even if we would not have experience, we cannot stop it. It's a very very practical thing. Even if you would not have experienced, we will see, we have seen people experiencing it. It's not something like alien. So we can easily understand that how, like, as a living entity, we have life after life, we have struggled, now also we are struggling. And the moment we go outside this four walls, we'll again forget this, like how the baby forgot after coming out. So we cannot even imagine what Krishna is doing us by giving this Bhagavad Gita, by sending these like warriors of Srila Prabhupada, by helping, like by making us realize, living a life like that, making us realize that yes, we are struggling. You can, I mean, only after coming to Krishna consciousness, attending session like this, I understood that, oh, I'm actually struggling here. This is not what I'm meant to do. And what are the problems in this world? There are three miseries. Adhyatmika miseries. So Adhyatmika means, as the word itself says, the suffering that is caused by the body and mind. Okay, first we will discuss what are the four real problems that we had: birth, death, old age, and disease. So the point I want to make here is this four real problems and these three miseries. No single living entity can overpower this. They have to go through it, no matter what. So first suffering is suffering that is caused by mind and body. That is if you see body to give suffering, there is like no doubt about it. But you'll be surprised to know that more than body, mind gives suffering. In fact, I was yesterday just trying to figure out that 90% of the diseases are caused. WHO, World Health Organization, has given this the statistics that 90% of the diseases are due to the mind and not due to the body. And we can imagine, like, simple, small things, like mind just zooms it, even unnecessary. Like, it doesn't even matter to us in a, not even a long run, even tomorrow. But mind zooms it so to such an extent that it just makes our life like miserable, and we just find it so difficult to come out of it. And next kind of misery is adi bhautika misery, which is like the suffering that is caused by other living entity. So definitely there'll be at least one such person who is in our life, who is causing some trouble to all of us. I mean, if there is no, there'll be one. And if there is no one, there'll be something like mosquito, or there'll be some other living entity that will be like causing us a lot of trouble. And we can also see that, like, so much we went through, no, like COVID also, if you see, it was due to virus. And at every point of time, we can see there are some other living entities that are like troubling us. It's not that like we are all the time happy and we are not at all suffering because of other living entities. So first thing is the suffering that is caused by oneself, especially the body and the mind. And the second thing is the adi bhautika suffering, the suffering that is caused by other living entity. And this is the final like miseries, which is adi daivika misery, which is like the suffering caused by the nature, like the earthquake, the flood, and things like that. So if you see material nature, no, she has her own way of cleaning up the mother earth. So one earthquake comes, and then that's it, many get, one tsunami comes, many get washed off. Even floods are like that. And we also see that like these things, especially these adhyatmika, adibhautika, adidavika miseries, again, if you introspect, we cannot overcome this. Like, let's say we are going through health issues, max to max what we can do, we can just give some medicine to us, which can like delay that disease, and which can cure also to some extent. But by the time it is cured, we are up with next disease or next suffering or something like that. So like how I mentioned that there is no single living entity who can like get free from this four real problems. What are the four real problems? Birth, death, old age, disease, and the three miseries. What are the three miseries? Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adidevika. But if you see anybody you meet till date, anybody you have met, have they spoken about this four real problems and three miseries? So we see like everybody is going through this, but nobody wants to speak about this. It's a very it's a vital fact. It's not something like how I said. It's not something like you didn't know and just I'm telling you for the first time. It's a very existing fact. Just that nobody wants to advertise this and say that like this is what is happening. You find a better solution. You find a permanent abode for yourself where you can stay happily. Everybody wants us to suffer. Everybody wants us to like what do you say, subscribe to their temporary happiness, that okay, you take this, you'll get happiness, you do this, you'll get happiness, you like go here, you'll get happiness. So everybody wants us to give that temporary hike in dopamine, which will make us feel that yes, we are happy. And everybody wants us to keep distracted, by the way. Nobody wants us to know the reality. Everyone wants to hide this reality so that they can advertise their product and they can live a happy life. Again, at the end of the day, they are also suffering. And the spiritualist, if you see, they are the ones who are genuinely like saying that this is what it is. It's not like, again, to be pessimistic on the pessimistic end. Definitely after we go out, we forget everything and we lead a life like how we were doing yesterday. But it's just to know that we still have a choice to turn our lives to 360-degree, to actually find that permanent abode, permanent happiness, like even here in this material world, and then the life after life to come. And we also see that like only when we like, why Krishna is telling this again, only when we understand the reality of the world, this world, you will think where should I actually go. You will think of finding that abode where you get actual like happiness, actual, you will not get that misery, you will be truly finding that happiness. So reality of this world is lots of advertisements of happiness, like anywhere and everywhere you go, there will be like so much of advertisement, like how I was telling that from the like you watch this movie, you'll become very happy. You go to this what is that, adventurous place, you'll become happy. And then you like have this, go to this favorite dining place, you'll become happy. So world is just advertising, like, you know, till now our situation was, we don't even have any time in between to think that yes, we are suffering. So the moment we get some suffering, next moment the world comes up with the new advertisement that yes, this is the happiness, this is the like antidote for this suffering, so just please subscribe it. And we subscribe it, and then we also like fall in pit, and then we realize that whatever I thought was a medicine, it is much dangerous than the disease that I was going through. In fact, I was reading this Prahlad Maharaj's beautiful prayers. It's so heart touching. Someday I want to like sing it for all of you, and I sing it every day. Every day I sing it morning, especially when I go to temple. In that it is said that dukkaushadam tadapi dukkamatadiyatma. It is said that in this world, the one which we think is medicine, it is much dangerous than the disease itself. So like they will not even tell you that the expiry date is over, or it will only work for so and so time, or conditions apply, it will work only on this condition. They will not tell you about all these things. They'll just advertise, they'll just give, will subscribe, and then will suffer. And everyone is trying in their own innovative ways to be happy. Like if you consider all these, like how marriages used to happen earlier, I mean in some chatras, in some temples, and now if you see like in parachutes wedding that is happening, underwater like destination weddings that is happening. I mean, we cannot even imagine. People are trying to find their like stupid innovative ways, and they want to become happy. And there are so many incidences where that parachute like that it got lost of the, what do you say, that wings, and then they drowned in the water, and that first day became their last day. So like we cannot even imagine people how they're trying to find innovative ways to be happy. And definitely like better life is a happy life, but to what extent we can make it, to what extent we can keep that happiness, that is the question. And see, some even get happiness like how I said, but with time that happiness gets killed. So like at least we, like, who are like like hearing these lectures from Bhagavad Gita from so many days, we should be very convinced that yes, this is happiness, but this is time bound, and this happiness is gone over time. And let me put 1% effort towards Lord, to go to Lord, where I get ultimate, like utmost happiness, utmost like eternity. It's not like temporary, utmost eternity, and like full of knowledge. You can imagine like a dark room filled with so much lightness at once, brightness at once. You cannot even imagine how happy you will feel when there is so much of knowledge. And I like to give this example. So happiness of this world is like this burger. So the example here is like that. So the between part is there, no? What do you call the patties? So the patties is like the happiness that we get, and the endeavor that we have to put is outside. Like here you can see the bun is very very small, but in general the bun will be so much big. Like the both the buns will be so much big, and the happiness is like very very thin layered, like a slice of cheese that is there. And like for example, like we were only discussing about job, no? To earn little money, how much endeavor we have to put, how much endeavor. And if you see, like when we were, okay, how much endeavor we have to put, let me again remind you, we studied for 20 years. It's not that now like week after week you are struggling. We studied for 20 years to get that little amount of money which we cannot even carry after leaving this body, by the way. Definitely it is giving us happiness. So so much of hard work we do, and on the last day of the month when that SMS comes, your account is credited with so and so amount, definitely we feel happy. But just for that one like little amount of money, so much effort is needed, so much effort. Like everybody, we all are putting this much effort. And like if somebody says like you all resonated with me, I was also actually making notes that if somebody says that no my work is very happy, then I'll ask them that then if your work is very happy, then why don't you work on weekends also? Why do you even want weekends? Right? If somebody is liking something so much, we can do it all the time. Like if you see, like our mother, she loves serving us so much that she can do like 24 bar 7s, and like throughout the year there is no stoppage for it. Even now when we go home, like let's say our mother, they are not well, still they will like stretch themselves and do. That is actual love, that is actual like true happiness, because they get happiness by serving us. And it is so much true that they are ready to do that work at any point of time. We, for us, like we are just waiting for the day to end, for the week like to end, so that we get some like break from the worldly things, especially from the work. So definitely we cannot say that like we get happiness in work. So we also say that any happiness you consider, it's like that only. Like for a small amount of happiness, if you see, so much of efforts are needed. Like let's say buying a car, or like purchasing, like getting married, or anything you can consider. Like just a slice of happiness, and so much of endeavor. And after all these things, the happiness is not something that is permanent. It also comes with the like time bound, from this time to this time, that's it. And we see that like so much like we are all like struggling. And logic of the happiness in this world is that anticipation of achieving something. Like I also like to say that how our happiness is more than getting happiness. In the anticipation that yes we'll get it, we are more happy. Oh, I'll get this job, oh I'll get into IIT, in that anticipation we are like very happy. Oh, I'll get this like job with so and so package, in that anticipation. Let's say you're switching from one job to another job, that anticipation, it's you cannot even explain it to others, because that is a happiness wherein your like salary has hiked, and the hidden part of the job, it is kept aside. Even your mind doesn't want to show that face until and unless you start working. And like I'll get to this college, I'll get to this place. Especially like even like when in the childhood, when we used to have this picnics, like how like our parents used to always complain every day she cannot get up, but on the picnics day, morning nobody has to wake up. Automatically 4:35 she wakes up. So you can and the whole night we would not have slept also. That is there. So we can see from like the birth, we are like almost we are in a way of mechanical way, we are ready, that in the anticipation of getting things, we are already finding the happiness. And second thing is comparison of status. So This is a very very practical thing. We may accept it or we may not accept it. So our like happiness will be majority of the times it will be the delta difference between what the second person has. So if I have something more, yes, I'm happy. If I don't have, then definitely I'm not happy. So even we discussed like attitude of comparison, one session we had. So in this we discussed this in depth, how much like to such an extent that people go to harm each others even just to show that they are superior over others. And we are all are IT professionals, so we will definitely know the office politics. Everybody wants to put us down. They actually, the world is like Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So if we push another's, we also go in front. But nobody wants to accept the fact. That's when all these like struggles come. And also that. Oh yeah, this fact that our happiness is like very very relative. Okay, for an example, um, let's say, okay, you all are very sincere, you all are coming to this session very very sincerely, very very regularly. So I decided that I will give you 10 kgs of gold to each of you. So I can see that like gleaming glow of happiness like in all your face. So okay, I made you all happy, I'm also happy now. Now let's say let's say you are in middle of the ocean and you're drowning. Okay, and I come in a boat filled with gold. And I'm giving you, please take 10 kg of gold, please take. What will you say? What are you even saying, Mataji? Please save me, I don't want gold. So you can imagine, like the same thing that is happy, that is actually giving you happiness, it is, the happiness is very very relative. At one point it can give you happiness, the same thing at another point it can never give you happiness at all. And one other example also, like I had written somewhere, I missed it. Huh. So yeah, your favorite food. Okay, don't scold me for this. But yeah, your favorite food. Let's say like your mother cooked your favorite food and she has brought it. Now you're in a very very happy mood, so you relish the food. Okay, and the same food. Let's say like your favorite food is like something like gulab jamun. I can take. So gulab jamun. Now so your mother has prepared a like jar full of gulab jamun, and then it's ready. It's right in front of you, and you're in a very good mood, and you're okay to have 5 gulab jamuns. And now let's say next moment, before you have your first gulab jamun, like somebody gets to know that they're laid off from their company. So you can imagine, can you have that gulab jamun with the same amount of happiness that you had just one moment ago? So you can, like, I just want to try to make you understand that how happiness is so relative. The same substance is there, the same gold was there, the same gulab jamun is there which you like, the same gold is there which is giving you so much wealth, but because the situations are different, the happiness also becomes like a misery. So we can see happiness in this world like is completely relative. So our happiness, it depends on various situations and it depends on various conditions. And the now we'll get into the our actual topic. So like what is actually that real happiness which all the scriptures are speaking about, and what is like the obstacle in getting the real happiness? Actually, like how I was telling that this material world, it's called Dukhalayam and Ashashvatam. So the only and only thing that is between us and the real happiness is our connection to this material world. Because it's as simple as this. The material world, it is Dukhalayam. I am connected to this Dukhalayam. So definitely, if I'm connected to the negative source, I will get the negative energy. There is no second question about it. So similarly, I am connected to this material world which is already a dukhalay. So automatically, like I'm suffering all this like dukkha, and I'm suffering all the miseries. And we are suffering because we are experiencing this suffering via our body. And that thing which connects us to this material world is actually our body. That's when, like, especially I don't know about all of you, but I always like very very proudly I say that I didn't know that I'm a soul earlier before coming to Krishna consciousness. Like I used to think that yes, all I have to do is like feed my body very well, sleep very well, take care of the body very well, and then that's it. I'll be happy. And like how people said, okay, do 10 standard, you'll be happy. Do 12 standard, you'll be happy. Just engineering, 4 years, that's it. And actually, after job only, I realized this is where my actual life of miseries began. So we see like the world is full of dukhalayam, and because like we are having this body which is in contact with this material world, so we are experiencing all this suffering through this body. And even if you see that, that's when reading of Bhagavad Gita, it gives us so much knowledge. Like if you read the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, at every point almost in every page, Srila Prabhupada tries to make us understand that how we are this soul, we are not this body, and how when we realize this and when we start living our life based on like when we start feeding our soul, automatically we become happy. And like always, my favorite example, like painting the cage. Like until we know that we are soul, we have been painting the cage, and even after knowing that we are like this, we are not this body, we are this soul, we are still painting the cage. And so much we are painting the cage, the inside bird is like dying, it is asking, please feed me, please feed me. And this please feed me comes in so many ways: anger, frustration, anxiety, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, so many things it comes. Like it is trying to tell you, please, I'm dying. I'm like, it is giving you warnings, like yellow light, red light, and then no light. So we see like our body, which is like holding the soul, it is also knowing that like actual the food for the soul is not being given. Even though so much we are feeding like feeding the cage, the parrot which is inside it is trying to speak in various ways, but the only thing is that we hide that. Like we suppress that thoughts, we suppress that needs of the body, which is actually asking for the needs of the soul. And we also see that um, the I was also remembering recently, not recently, a few days ago, when in my neighborhood one person died. He died of a heart attack. And the people in their house, they're very happy that the person didn't suffer. That person just left his body just like that. He got a heart attack. They're very very peaceful, they're very very happy knowing that, like, yes, my father died, he had a very peaceful death and he didn't had to suffer and things like that. And like recently again, when I was going through another session, I was hearing that just just what we see when they like at the point of their death is not actually what we see. Actually, it is said that when somebody dies, there is a tug of war between the body and the soul. Again, an example, let's say you enter into a rented house and you have decorated the house to the best of your possibilities. You have taken all your favorite stuffs, you have decorated every nook and corner, you have kept it clean, you have brought all your favorite stuffs, and you have made the house look so beautiful, so much so that you're very happy staying there. And your owner comes, he sends all the gundas, and then he's not touching the house. He's just pulling you out and he's just throwing you out. You can imagine how much sad and like how much upset you will be. See, he's not touching the body anywhere, he's not touching the house anywhere, he's just pulling you out and he's just throwing you out. So you can imagine that is the same situation happens when like somebody is going through death. He's like, we are staying in this body which is a rented place almost how much, at least minimum 60 years we can say. Like earlier they used to say 100 years and things like that. Now we can say okay, minimum 60 years. For 3-4 years we stay at a place, rented house. For us to give up that rented house, like so difficult, not at all possible. Let's say rented, like let's say job or a house, so much we are attached to. So you cannot even imagine how much our soul will be attached to this body which we consider as ourselves. That is another thing. And it is said that Yamadutas, when they try to remove the like soul from the body, then we are just, the soul is just like begging Yamadutas, I want to stay here, I just want to be here. And the pain is also mentioned. The pain for the soul to get removed from the body, it is equal to some 60,000 scorpion bites. So we cannot even imagine. One scorpion bite, we cannot even imagine. So 60,000 scorpion bites. And the pain, the more is the pain when the more we are attached to this body, when the more we associate ourselves with the body. So definitely we cannot even imagine what that pain is, and we cannot even imagine what that suffering is. But like how I said, on a very lighter note, I give you that example that we are staying in a house and then somebody kicks us out of the house out of nowhere. We are just trying to come back to that house by hook or crook, because we have kept that house so neat clean, like how we are keeping this body so neat clean so beautiful, that we want to be there. And And another thing is that the fact that we are going to lose the things that are associated with body, like our possessions. Like you can imagine, like there are so many stories where like a person who was so much attached to his building, like the houses which they have, no, like the owners, basically house owners, so much attached to his building, his money and things like that. Like as soon as he dies, he takes a form of a snake and he comes and he lives in that house only. What will that kid, like the that parents, like son or daughter, they'll do seeing a snake, they'll just like hit or kill and throw that snake away. It's the same person, he's coming. And we cannot even imagine, like the attachment can take us to such a level that, like if somebody is attached to a house, they can become a lizard, they can become a cockroach, and like the list goes on. So anything and everything that keeps us attached, that also gets like removed when we are like dying. And so much of money we have been earning, so much of opulences we have been earning, definitely at once if somebody comes to me and say next moment, yeah, you're like, I will take you, I will also tell that I've been just what is that, top of the bread and bottom of the bread I have been baking. I have not even reached the patties part. So give me little time to enjoy the patties part, like that. So like we cannot even like how I said, we cannot even imagine the greatest incompatibility actually in this material world is that we are the spiritual beings, and this body which is connected, which is actually a part of this material world, is a material thing. And if you see, like what is the nature of the soul? Nature of the soul?
Susananda.
Huh?
Susananda.
Sachidananda, the nature of the soul. That is, the soul wants to be happy. That's why we see that we all want, always we are behind happiness. The soul wants to be in full of like full knowledge, and the soul wants to be eternal. And if you see the body, on the contrary, the body is like completely temporary. It is giving us all the miseries, and it is like full of ignorance. So we can imagine like what kind of a combination we are in. Like a soul which is hankering for happiness, a soul which is like wanting to be eternal, and a soul which is full of knowledge in a box, that is in a yantra, that is like full of ignorance, and that which is not like eternal, that which is temporary, and that which is like definitely very sad and very struggling. So this incompatibility is the reason why nothing of this material world can give us the happiness, and this incompatibility is the reason why when we take birth or when we give up this body, so much pain we face, because we identify ourselves to be that body. We want to be eternal, but the when at the point of death, what happens, we have to give up our body. We don't want to give up because we are sat, like we are eternal. So we can imagine, like if somebody tells you this is your own house and then they are trying to kick you out, so we cannot even imagine that pain. And like again, this is like another example where now that we know that yes, we are all struggling, okay, there is rains, so we all have the option of saving ourselves. How? By holding an umbrella. So I cannot say that no, like I will not use the umbrella, and let me just like go with the flow, like that. Similarly, whenever we are going through a lot of difficulties in life, especially small difficulties, big difficulties in life, we have to understand one fact, that yes, this world is dukhalaya. I understood the fact, but I can also understand the fact that yes, there are umbrellas which can save, which can give me a better life, not just in the next life which we were talking about, but also in this life. And those are the spiritual practices that we do, the chanting that we do, the reading of Bhagavad Gita that we do, the attending this satsang that we do. Because especially mantra meditation, like so much mantra meditation is like jacket actually. Like it's like one round, like every day morning before we come out, it's like one round devotees chant, it's like one jacket, two rounds, two jacket, three rounds, three jacket. And when we wear, like when we do like 16 rounds, like 16 like bulletproof jackets we have put. And when we go out actually, like if you see the material world, everybody is waiting to shoot at us. They are ready to like harm us, hurt us, trouble us. Everybody is waiting. And when we wear these jackets, no, bulletproof jacket, and we go out, and people will be like shooting, and we'll be like, ha, nothing. It doesn't even care. It doesn't even bother for us. At least, like I said, no. Like just 1 year ago, I was doing my work from home. Almost for 3 years, 4 years, I've done my work from home. And I used to ask all my seniors what to do, like from work from home to all 5 days work. It's like throwing me into a pit of demons. And I used to always recite that Narsimha prayers. I used to tell, no, that prayers chanted by Prahlad Maharaj. In that also it is said that, oh, like, Prahlad Maharaj is praying that you are putting me in middle of demons. Please take me out. And every day morning I'm chanting same prayers. You're putting me in middle of demons. Please take me out. I cannot stay there like that. But what like solution which see my seniors gave, at most, like, out of all the solution, is that chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. See, we are very initial, so we may feel that how can this chanting help and things like that. But like when you start experiencing the magic of chanting, no, you cannot stop chanting. Like how I said, no, like it will give you so many layers of protection that nothing affects you, almost nothing affects you. Like so many people will come and shoot you, but like you're least bothered because you know that 16 jackets you still have, and it is all bulletproof, and it cannot like harm you at all. And like so the point is that the problems in life, see, when somebody comes to the spiritual organization, in general people say that, oh, you'll stop getting problems and things like that. But the best thing I liked about ISKCON is, when like when I came to ISKCON and when I was also getting problems, like many small problems, big problems, nobody ever told me your problems will stop. It was very clear that because of my past karma and because of the three modes of material nature, because of my influence, I will go through the problems. But what they said is that suffering is optional. And this was like a very enlightening thing for me. And like the example that I always tell you, like I always share when I go for book distribution is, let's say you are in front of a very huge building, okay? And like you are seeing that building, this is so much huge, how can I like climb this, and how is this building so huge like that. And let's say you are seeing the same building from a helicopter. How will that building look? So small, it looks so insignificant, it doesn't even matter that that building exists. Similarly, problems in life, it's not that the problems in life will not come. Problems in life will come. Now if you're holding, like if you're having a spiritual vision, it's like you're on a helicopter. It looks so small, it looks almost insignificant. You don't, like when you're on a flight, it doesn't even matter that some buildings are there beneath you, it doesn't even matter. But let's say you're crossing the road, definitely it matters that there is a building in front of you. Similarly, like these spiritual practices are like this. It gives us a vision by which we see same problem is there, like the intensity of the problem is also same, but your vision, your perception towards it, the way of handling everything changes so much that you don't even feel that you feel like that problem even exists, and it hardly bothers you basically. So like what happens when we start practicing spiritual practices, actually our consciousness, it rises to a very like higher level. Like especially when we, like how I said, when we start reading Bhagavad Gita, automatically we'll come to know that what, like first thing is that, like we'll get to know that, like uh, outside things stops bothering to us. Now we are in a state where little things like bothers us so much in this world. Like if you see our like level of happiness is, like somebody likes our photo in Instagram or WhatsApp, and we become so much happy. And somebody praises us, oh, your dress is so good, or this is so good, we become happy. And on the contrary, somebody comes up to us and say that, oh, like you are looking shabby today, or something else about us or our behavior or something like that, we get very upset. But if you see, like when I spoke to you about what are the real problems, what are the three miseries, like you can even imagine, are these even real happiness, like getting likes, or what do you say, showing off what we have, or even like somebody appreciating, or somebody, or all these like comparisons, being better than somebody. These are like chutku things. It doesn't even, like we don't even feel like they're happiness, in fact. But at least if you might not be doing, you would have at least seen your friends who would be so much addicted to it. That is their life. So they don't even have a life outside it. So you can even imagine in what kind of a bubble people are living in, that they think that just by one life they get actual true happiness. And like I mean, there are so many examples, but yeah, like how I say that these small things that we think which is giving us happiness, it's just keeping us in a bubble, and we are just jumping over from one bubble to another bubble to actually look for happiness. But when we start practicing like bhakti, then outside world, like, we, it doesn't matter to us at all. And there are examples, especially there are so many examples, like gravest of the grave situations, especially when people start practicing devotional service. Even I have seen personally that even when some death happens in their own house, they take it so positively. They know that there is nobody around to handle the situation well, so they know that their life has to move on. So they see that on a very very practical note, they see that how can I contribute to the spiritual, like progress of this person. They see that what best can I do for this, like, person who has left this body now. And then they'll do that, whatever the rituals and whatever the prayers, whatever possible from their end. And then they'll decide that yes, I should be that in that position, that I move on, and that person who has left his body, he should also move on in his spiritual life. And everything, like how I said, no, every little thing that we do in spirituality, it has a significance. So like it is also said that you would have heard, no, that the pindo, the kakriya and all, they give, wherein rice balls and all they give, very very important those are. It is said that if those like practices are not made, then those like souls who have left their body, they will not get their food. Even the yamadutas who are behind them, they will also not get their food, so they will be just suffering forever. So when somebody like gives up their body, so a person should be very mature to handle that situation. And if you see, like outside, like majority of the times people are so much like into that depression situation, that they forget what they have to actually do. But like in a like spiritual situation like this, we see that like spiritualists handle this situation, definitely I won't say that they're very happy and things like that, but they handle the situation very maturely, knowing that yes, the with the body the person doesn't end, the life doesn't end, the soul takes the next body. So let me do the rituals very nicely, let me off chant my rounds very nicely, let me offer prayers so nicely that that person gets a better life, better body next, at least if not anything else, better body next life. And even like some like heavy situations like losing a job, even I have seen like my own like close friends who have lost their job. And like even in my company, when few people lost their job, they were in panic. Every week there is layoffs going on even now, and like there is so much panic. And when I meet these like my like spiritual friends, this the same situation they're in, but they're very very confident that Krishna will definitely help me if I put my efforts. There is nothing that I can, there is no situation that remains static actually. And this, if you see, like why I'm explaining you all these like very grave scenarios and very small simple scenarios, because these are the part of our life, we have to go through this. And why spirituality, where spirituality comes in picture is, it makes us so strong against all these like difficulties that we are going through, that so much of like what do you say, that jackets we put, that we become almost like oblivious to all the sufferings around us, and we handle the situation very very maturely. It's actually that is how actually it has to be handled. And our perception of the world will change, like how I said that, like when somebody is like, let's say somebody was upset with me, or let's say somebody comes and they like shower all their anger onto me. So if you've attended the session like three modes of material nature or karma session, if you have attended, if you have not attended, you can go back and attend. So you'll realize that this person is like bound by these three modes. Now he's in mode of ignorance, that's why all his anger, because of some reason, he's coming and putting on me. The same person, same like whom we consider as a well wisher, she's coming and put, it's just a phase, we know that, so we don't react. And if you see, like majority of our relationships now, it's going into a mode of disruption. It's because we are not in a position to accept the other's position. But when we start practicing bhakti, our perception to others, why they are doing what they are doing, how they are actually, what actually they are going through, and what is affecting them, the three modes, and what is affecting me, when we are very clear, no, things will become very simple. Even though like we may not, like in one or two trials it may not happen, but slowly with the increase in the devotional practice, all these things will happen. And then we can see the change in ourselves. And our expectation from this world changes, we start expecting very least if somebody is not doing something for me. There was a kid who was very very depressed, and that kid, she came back and she was telling that I'm doing so much for my friends, and what am I expecting? I'm just expecting that they do the same for me, and they are not doing it, that's why I'm depressed. If you see, like that kid is still a small kid, but we are also on the same level. Like we do so many things to so many people, and in In the background we have expectation that when we are going through something, yes, they'll come, and when they don't come, that's it, our life goes topsy-turvy. And when we start practicing bhakti, we see that our expectation from our near and dear ones, those whom we are helping, or anything, basically anybody, our expectations, we are very clear that who we are, what we want, and even if we get help, not help, we don't get help, we are very stable. Majority of the times, at least this is what I have seen, that same situation, if it is thrown to a person who is not practicing devotional service and person who is practicing devotional service, the way they handle is like almost 360-degree difference is there in that. And we will not expect some permanent happiness, knowing that this is dukhalayam, this is ashashwatam. We know that, let's say you like one example is one devotee, he saw that his like factory is burning, and like what will be our reaction if our hard earned money, like the factory is burning. And like when he speaks to his wife, this interview is also still in the online, so when he speaks to his wife, he says that thank you Madhu. He says that this is what, like we had discussed, no, that bhumi rapo analo vayu kammu no buddhi revacha, everything is from the Lord. So the Lord gave me, for some period of time the Lord gave me this to take care of me, and now he's taking it back. I mean, can you imagine like the amount of guts one should have at that point of time to say that God has given me, let God, like even now the Lord is taking back, that's okay. Like even some person who is near and dear to us, he's like, if they're living body and we are saying that yes, just that person was given to us to take care of, and now they're back on their journey home to God. So all these things, no, it's very 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 difficult. And in fact, death is like the biggest fear everybody has, including me. Like if you see the like the worst fear that I had is death, especially of my near and dear ones. Like we don't fear about our death to that extent, but our near and dear ones, we always, especially we are here and they are there, we always keep thinking, Are, what happens, somewhere we hear about something accident, somewhere we hear about some landslide or something, we are so much worried. And when I started practicing bhakti, I realized that like I even up to date I keep singing this bhajan, that bhaja hure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindare. That simple thing, bhakti, can make us fearless from what? From the most like voracious kind of fear of death of ourselves and of our near and dear ones. So it can just change our expectations from this world. So like my question is, so all these you may think that it will happen after long time. So do you think all these like takes a lot of practice and takes a long amount of time for this to like take its effect? See, definitely no. Actually, people think that no, like for us to get the spiritual results, we need to like do spiritual practices like meditation for years together, and then we can see that change in us and things like that. No, actually, if you see, like in my life itself, I can see that to the extent we do bhakti, to that extent we can see this difference. Even you do little bhakti, you can see little difference already. To the and you do more bhakti, you see the same effects in a greater level. So, but definitely you will see all these like change in your consciousness, your perception towards the world, and expectations from this world. Hardly anything starts like how I said, no, hardly anything stops like affecting you. And when nothing affects you, so automatically there is peace, correct? Automatically there is happiness. So here what Krishna is saying, we'll see. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य
nachayuktasya bhavana
नाचायुक्तस्य भावना
nacha bhavayatas
न च भावयतश्चान्ति
ashantasya kutha sukam.
अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्.
Anybody can read? This is a again very beautiful shloka, connecting shloka.
One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace?
So here, like I'll show this shloka to you in the form of a chart. So what happens is when we start practicing spirituality, basically, And then what happens is we start establishing that connection with the Lord. Like how I said, like let's say we start chanting, we start reading Bhagavad Gita, we start coming in association of devotees. So slowly we start developing that connection with the Lord. And then what happens is we start experiencing that when that connection gets revived, that lost connection gets revived. So we start experiencing that transcendental intelligence, and our mind becomes very stable. Stable means we get to know this is right, this is wrong, this is what I have to do, this is what I should not do, this is how I have to react, this is how I have, like you see, actually the intelligence of person is also to decide should I speak or should I keep quiet in most of the scenarios. And majority of the people don't have that sense, if you see. And like if you see the world problems, most of the times the problems in the world are because they don't know where to speak and where to keep quiet. That's like the very on a silly, like on a very very utmost like foolish level it is. And when we get the stable mind, ultimately there is peace. Like Krishna says that Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Jnatvamam Shanti Mrichati. He says that just by practicing little bhakti, just by that little connection with the Lord, He will give us that intelligence by which we become ultimately peaceful. And peaceful means, like how I said, it's people are living in their own superficial bubble trying to get happiness here, there. They're just jumping like monkeys, and we will be in that bubble, that strong bubble of Krishna consciousness. Nobody can shake us, nothing can shake us. It's like till now what is there, the remote control of our life we have given it to others, and they're saying yes this is good, and we are like feeling like they're praising us, we are happy, they're like scrutinizing us, then we are sad, and almost like whatever they say our life depends on us. And now after doing bhakti, it's just that we are pulling that remote back. You can like imagine your sibling has your remote and then you're just snatching it back, and you're telling that you cannot hurt me, you cannot do, like you cannot upset me. And on a very higher note, like how I said, so like with the time we will definitely face lot of difficulties, especially for men, no, to get over difficulties, like they just forget it. I will not say all the men, but at least I say that by nature they have that hard heart that with time they will get over it. But for women, little things bother to us. Even the whole day goes good and something small happens, our mind is just on that small thing, so much zoomed that we cannot even think of anything good that is happening to us. And we go to Lord and we say, why me, Lord, why me? All the time. And that peace leads to like happiness, like how I said. And how this magic happens, again Krishna himself is saying, Daivesha Gunamai
दैवेश गुणमयि
Mama Maya Dhuratyaya
मम माया दुरत्यया
Mame Vahe Prapadyante
मामेवये प्रपद्यन्ते
Maya Metam Tarantite.
मायामेतां तरन्ति ते.
Can anyone read?
The divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
So what happens in the previous shloka? What did Krishna say? So Krishna said that you do this and this and this, and then you will get peace, and then you will get happiness. You will get connected to me, and then you will have all the intelligence, and then you will get happiness. And then here he is saying how to achieve it. He is saying, see, Krishna is such a merciful Lord. He just doesn't end. Like if you see, like even if you like pay $1,000 to some counselors, they say that one session they give half knowledge, next session another half, next session another half, and by the time you go to the fourth session, you are just convinced that yes, you have to go to four more sessions to actually get cured. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is telling that, see, this is the problem, this is the path, and this is how you have to achieve it. And here he is telling that whatever things that we are going through, it is because of the nature, material nature, because we are in the three modes of material nature. Like how I said, the problem is we are associated with that body is associated with that world. And how is the world? The world is dukkha. So automatically the trouble is coming to us. So again, this world is creation of whose? It's a creation of the Lord. So if we surrender to the Lord, automatically we can cross easily. Like Krishna himself is saying that last line, can easily, you can overcome. It's not at all difficult to overcome. You can easily cross beyond it. And this is the last shloka where he is telling, सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य
मामेकं शरणं व्रज
मामेकं शरणं व्रज
अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो
अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
So this shloka 18.66, it is also called as a summary. I mean, it's also called as the essence shloka of Bhagavad Gita. And here Krishna very boldly he says that abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. And see, in general people think that surrender means like what, you have to like give up everything and you have to become sadhu santa and things like that. No, just surrender here means just you have to come onto the path of bhakti. That's it. That is what surrender is. And here also he says that do not fear. I was telling so much of fear we have, and Krishna is giving a very bold statement at the end of Bhagavad Gita that you're in such a fearful condition, you're struggling, suffering, you're trying to find your happiness here, there, everywhere. All you have to do is just start practicing bhakti, that is just surrender unto me, and then I will take care of everything. He's telling that all the sins that you have committed, I will take care of it, and all your like coming life, like whatever your happiness is there, I will also take charge of it. And do not fear. Ma suchaha. We cannot even imagine how merciful like our Lord is, who says that I will take care of everything, and that this is the magic he wants to do. He just wants us to do bhakti and he will take care. And see, like how I always say that bhakti is not something very superficial. Bhakti is very practical. And today I am here not because I have just heard all these theories. It's because I have experienced this pocket of like protection from the Lord, pockets of happiness, like hand of the Lord. So many instances that I'm so confident that I am a person who cannot even like go in front of the crowd. I am here explaining you these aspects of Bhagavad Gita so boldly. And one thing everybody would know, if we have not experienced, it can be seen on the face that yes, this person is all lying and this person cannot say. And it was a big challenge for me also. That like how will I be able to say it? But over time I realized that Lord, when He says that Ma Suchaha, do not fear. Lord, when he says that I will take care of you, don't worry. It's not that very superficially he's telling that he will take care of us after 10 years, after 15 years in next life. No, he will take care of us right here, right now. All we have to do is start practicing bhakti and have that little faith. And we can see Krishna's hand in day-to-day scenarios. Sometimes when we sit outside, we can discuss like what, not just me, almost all the devotees who are practicing, they would have definitely experienced that mercy of hand because of which they are here. It's not that like I always give this example. If you are hungry, if somebody feeds you, second person doesn't have to tell you your hunger is satisfied, your thirst is satisfied. Bhakti is just like that. If the theory whatever they have given you, you will experience it, and the second person cannot question you. Have you experienced this? Have you like, is it tasty? Have you satisfied? You can almost tell yourself. And the best example from the scripture is like Gajendra and Prahlad especially. Prahlad was in such a like precarious condition. Like Hiranyakashipu, his father, he was a demon, and he was almost in all languages. This Prahlad Narsimha story, like movie would have been, we would have seen. So Prahlad was like thrown into the pit of snakes. He was thrown from the top of the hill. He was like left out to get stamped under the like elephant, and he was fearless. You can imagine he was fearless. And Hiranyakashipu was even he was in shock. He was thinking, what is that magic which my son is having, because of which he's not at all caring for his father. He's not scared of even death. And we can see that it is said that like yesterday also when we were reading Srimad Bhagavatam, I was discussing satyam vidhatum nijavritya bhashitam. So Prahlad Maharaj, what he said when Hiranyakashipu asked him, is my Lord in this pillar? Is my Lord in that pillar? Is my Lord is your Lord in that pillar? Is your Lord in that pillar? Actually, as a devotee, he could see everywhere. But Lord is present in the form of Panchabhutas in that pillar. But Lord was in a personal form not present. Satyam Vidhatum. Just to make that words of that Prahlad Maharaj comes true, he came out of that pillar. So we can imagine how merciful our Lord is. He can do anything. And definitely, even now, he can come to help us. He can come to protect us. And Gajendra's story is also a very wonderful story. Someday in depth we can discuss this. Gajendra, he was suffering. The crocodile, you can see that it had held to the Gajendra's leg, and Gajendra is an animal. these prayers, we can offer. But Gajendra, in his previous life, he had learned these prayers. That's why we always like request devotees, please learn few prayers so that we don't know when it will come to help. He was Indradyumna Maharaj in his previous life, and he had learned few prayers. And at his time of danger, he remembered those prayers, and all he could find was a lotus because he was in that river. He just took out that lotus and he just offered, and he just said, I'm surrendering unto you, please take care of me. And Lord, who was served by like Sahasra Shatakoti Lakshmis in Vaikuntha Loka, in the, what is that? Garuda Vahana. Next moment he was there, and he used his Sudarshan Chakra to kill that crocodile and save Gajendra. So if we can save an animal, if we can save a small boy, 5-year-old boy, definitely with our prayers he will definitely save us. And this is the last topic which we like already discussed, that spirituality doesn't mean we have to give up anything and everything. See, this is what my mentor used to always tell me. In Hindi, he used to tell me, and in fact, my spirituality is completely based on that one statement. He used to tell me that like bhakti means कुछ छोड़ना नहीं है, बस कृष्णा को सबसे जोड़ना है, यही भक्ति है. You should tell, and I should feel very happy, and I should feel that yes, I don't have to give up anything. I'm doing the same job that I'm taking care of my parents the same way, I'm taking care of my body the same way, everything is same. Only thing is I'm adding bhakti into it, and my life has become magical. And like how we see two difference here is, people say that you have to do so and so, you have to give up so and become like this. But actually we say that become like this, become very happy, jubilant. You can see that shine on the face of a devotee, because the devotee is so much sheltered by the Lord and so much experienced the Lord himself that nobody can say. And these two are like very wonderful examples in ISKCON, especially the first set of couple are Mafatlal group of companies owners. And the second is the Ford company's grandson. His name is Albert Ford. So we can see these people, they are practicing very bhakti very nicely, and they are chanting not just 1 round, 2 rounds, they are chanting 16 rounds. So they are dedicating 2 hours of their like daily time for bhakti. And we can see like this I have put exclusively for all of you, including me. We say no, we are busy. Are we busy? Are we more busy than these people who have so much to look after? Definitely no. So it's all in our hands that how much like amount of time we want to give to bhakti, knowing that what is the result we are going to get. And this is like the final slide, where definitely we have needs, like I have to maintain my body and family, I have to earn a livelihood, we cannot give it up. For the satisfaction of mind, I have to work according to my own nature, I cannot give it up. And I have to maintain healthy relations, I have to be always in a mood of service, I have to stay grounded. But we have to remember the ultimate is the need of the soul, that is all these spiritual practices. See, all of the above three you can get, but if the need of the soul is missing, like how I said, the bird will like starve and die. But automatically if the needs of the soul are like taken care of, rest of the three will be taken care of. Krishna has ensured it. Krishna has saved so many devotees, saved so many living entities, including animals. Why will he not help us? Why will he not save us? So my humble request is, take care of this need of the souls by spiritual practices. And final statement is, you be in this world but not of this world. Like so many times we go with the flow, like so many people say that you have to do this, you have to do that, and like it's very difficult for us that we accept the things of this world as permanent, and then we dedicate all our life in just in struggling and just getting things done there. But we have to get above this world. How can we get above this world? To the transcendental platform, by practicing bhakti. So the solution to the permanent happiness in this world is like by doing bhakti. And like how I said, it's not like you have to do meditation for 10,000 years and you have to give up things and things like that. Very simple. Like this is the slide which I've been showing almost every session. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So if you're doing 2 rounds, you can start 4 rounds. 4 rounds, you can start 8 rounds. And then regular study of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the month where we have to distribute Bhagavad Gita, and to distribute first we should have. So if you don't have Bhagavad Gita, please take a copy. And see, Bhagavad Gita is so much important. So you can also gift your near and dear ones in their own, like in your own mother tongue. You can gift them, and you can ask them to read 1 shloka per day. And whatever little you know, When you call, you can share. This is what I do. This is what my other friends also here they do. When we call our parents, definitely we cannot preach them. But these little stories, these little anecdotes, analogies which Prabhupada told us, we are telling them because they are the ones who have given us this life. They are the ones who have given us everything, even including our existence. And this is the best thing we can give to anyone. That is bhakti. And do not miss these sessions like this. So these are like the booster sessions. So yeah, next week also we will have a very very wonderful session. So we will take question answers during the lunch prasadam, and we will go to mantra meditation. Mataji beats. You can chant. So we can all sit straight. So like how I said, this mantra meditation, please don't take it like very lightly. It's a very big thing. Like how I said, you can experience a difference yourself provided you do it the right way. So we can all at least try to chant few rounds, few number of dedicated rounds every day. We can all sit straight. We can all keep our back straight, and then we can keep our eyes closed, and we can all train our mind, tell our mind that enough of roaming here and there. Even in the session, I'm sure 100 times it would have roamed around in the ECS layout. So we will tell the mind that now is the time to that Supreme Lord who saved Gajendra, who saved Prahlad Maharaj, who is so much dear to me, who is so much loving, who is so much caring, who is always there for me. So to connect to that person, so let us dedicate our next 7 minutes. So in a very very prayerful mood, and only two things we have to remember is chant loud enough for us to hear. And when we hear the mantra clearly, automatically the purification happens, and we can start seeing all these differences we have seen. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त